Well, Nick was away. He went to another friend's wedding, and my friends were in town. My mom was in town, and he had just met my friends. We were having like issues. It just seemed like at that point I was just dogging him, and I was just being like the nastiest version of myself. We were bringing out the worst versions in each other. And so it wasn't like a specific thing. It was just like, okay, we're trying on wedding dresses. Like I can't do this. And so that's why I was like, we should not be getting married. I don't really know. It's really hard for me to understand Nick, and I still have trouble understanding him to this day. But I think he was surprised because I think he wanted to go all the way. So I think it was like a shock that I was just like, I can't do this. But I don't think it should have been a shock because I think it was pretty obvious that like we weren't going to make it, you know? But definitely surprised. I think he just wanted to maybe do it longer, and it just wasn't what I wanted to do. Well, not just that. It wasn't even just the wedding setting. I think it would be cruel to have his family and my family come to the wedding, and we both know that this is probably not going to work out. I think that would be something. But the other thing is just that we just we didn't like each other. I feel like almost towards the end, like we were not like I was not being nice, and like I don't know why he would want to continue that. So I think it was just like we need to break this off before it gets nastier because it's already getting nasty. I think for me, I felt manipulated in the way that, like, for instance, like, let's go to the forbidden topic of sex, for instance. One of the reasons that Nick and I like developed such like a close relationship, and it was almost lustful in a way, probably, but we talked about sex a lot and we were very open about it. And when he first told me about it, I just thought, okay, I get it. Like friends, family, his parents are Catholic, like understand. But then I started to think like, I don't understand why you don't want to share this on camera because this is a huge problem that we're having in a relationship. And I think this is stemming from like my anger, which is not a good thing, but it was. And so I felt like needing to talk about it. And so him saying that he didn't want to talk about it, I felt like he just didn't want anything to make him look not in a good light. So I felt like I was manipulating the way that like at first I thought maybe it was this way, but I think it was the other way. And there's just like a couple other things like on camera and stuff. Like I was cruel to Nick and I completely apologize. I should not have acted like that way. But I think I was just so frustrated because when we were on camera, like he was just very like, I don't know, he didn't say much and he was just like very much like agreeable. And I was like, but we're not agreeing off camera. I don't understand that if I to trust my gut. I think I knew something was off from the beginning, or I just knew it was probably not like the best thing for me. But, you know, you just like, you twirl your hair like a little girl and you don't care. You don't trust your gut. And so I think trusting my gut is something that I need to trust going forward. And just if someone isn't doing what I like them to do, I need to, I've realized how independent I am is a wonderful thing, but it's also a horrible thing about me because if we're sharing the same space and you aren't doing the same things that I do, I get frustrated when I just need to realize that everybody's different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different responsibilities, and that's okay. You just have to be more like compromising. And so I'm going to be a lot more compromising, and I'm a lot more careful about like how I say things. Like if I think I need to bring it to the front and talk about it, okay, that's fine. But there's a lot of a nicer way to say things. I think I can just be a lot kinder in future relationships. All of it, probably, honestly. Like, like I am a bitch. Like I am. Like I'm a bitch. Like like, is it like is she a bitch or she that bitch? Like type of thing. But like I'm bitchy, and like I know that, and I'm direct, and I can be rude a lot because I don't realize my words. So when I watch it back, you really can see like people can tell you things, and you can be like, oh, okay, like I should work on that. But when you actually see exactly what's coming to your mouth, they're like, oh, that was harsh. So honestly, specific conversations with Nick where I'm like, I could have probably like eased up a bit, or like I could have chilled like a lot. And so like specific conversations I'll watch back, I can see about how delivery is everything and like be like, okay, I wasn't wrong, but was that delivery absolutely horrid? Yes. And so that's mainly what I look back on. Yeah, I think with Nick, it would just be like, why did you let me speak to you in that way? Or like, why did you let me treat you like that? I shouldn't have treated you like that. And like, that's a big question too. And it's also just like, I just feel like if we really loved each other and stuff, like, why did we want to continue this if it was just like, it was making you miserable? Like, I just want to understand. So I think it's just maybe just 3, I just want to understand and grasp like but things I just misunderstood because I misunderstood a lot. And this is what I'll say. I'll say for one thing, it's really hard because if he was being humorous about like the Travis Kelsey whatever thing, if that was a joke, you can't tell it's a joke on the other end. Like I couldn't tell. So like that's what you're expecting. But not only that, Nick definitely like as you'll see, like the other girls were like, Nick is not what I expected, even though Nick is very attractive. Nick was just like, I have one green eye, I have one blue eye, I'm Cuban, I'm freckles, I'm a big guy. Like so he like painted so much about himself. Like sometimes he'd be like, Nick, shut up. But he painted this like picture of himself, which is fine, but he gave so much characteristics that like you couldn't help but build this person. And when he wasn't that person, which is totally fine, it was just shocking. I think that was that whole situation. I think we were both guilty in a way that like I took what he said and ran with it, even though that's because my own imagination, but he also gave away a lot of information to where like I did have an image of him. I guess me like talking about how I was a cheerleader, like apparently was a thing too. And you can say things and like I was a cheerleader. I'm like, have y'all not ever seen a fat cheerleader before? Okay. I'm from town. But like I did, I guess, because you're in there and you're so confident. So you're just like talking and you're not even thinking that like things that you're saying could give away what you look like or paint a picture of something that's not the reality. And I think we're definitely both guilty of it. Even if we didn't mean to, we were guilty of it. And so when we see each other, yeah, it's definitely like I was just honest. Like I just was honest to the camera. Like I wasn't lying. Like I just thought he would be like this. And I thought he was so much taller than me and he wasn't. But it's just in your mind, you're like, I'm a giant in that moment, you know?